Welcome to the Breadcrumb Effect podcast,
where we interview interesting people with a story to tell
and share what breadcrumbs they've picked up along the way. I'm Danny.
And I'm Brittany.
Welcome to the Breadcrumb Effect.
Welcome to the Breadcrumb Effect. Sometimes the thing that changes your life doesn't start with a big plan. Sometimes it starts with something as simple as a 25-cent garage sale book. Today's guest is the wonderful Julia London, a New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of more than 60 novels, known for her historical romances set in Scotland and England, as well as contemporary favorites like You Lucky Dog and It Started with a Dog. She's the recipient of the RT Book Club Award for Best Historical Romance and a 6-time finalist for the prestigious Rita Award. But what makes this conversation so fun is Julia herself. She's quick, she's witty, and genuinely hilarious. Plus, she loves housewives. Her story is about being in the right place at the right time, following breadcrumbs when she didn't have it all figured out, and saying yes to things that are unexpected. Let's dive into her breadcrumbs.
Welcome here today. Thank you so much for joining us because this is a true honor.
Yeah, totally geeking out. The inside of me went, but I'm going to pretend to be calm. It's not working very well, apparently. I just showed my cards.
When I told my neighbors that you were coming, they gave us stacks of their books as well. So if you don't mind signing some before.
No, I'd be happy to. I'm just really so impressed and excited about this bedazzled.
I know. Okay, so the credit goes to my neighbor, Aurora. And her name actually comes up probably far too often in the podcast. But she did this amazing work.
I know. I love it.
And it's already a signed copy as well. So I think she got it, not obviously, but she got it from Lark and Owl. That's where a lot of us get our books. So we always want to give Lark and Owl a shout out.
Yeah.
And I knew she got it there too because of the bookmark, which maybe we show. Oh no, what is this? Maybe it wasn't. It's a different bookmark than the one I got from Lark and Owl. Either way.
I have more than one bookmark. I'm not talented that way. I have different varieties.
We just have the one. Yeah. And it doesn't work all the way.
QR code doesn't work. Yeah. So
we'll share the QR code that does work. And then we're not going to share the QR code that does not work.
Wait, for anyone that's not watching this, Julia has a bookmark, and then we're like, hey, we want to give you this bookmark, but our QR code doesn't work on it.
Oh man.
Lovely gift. I mean, just really.
We're going to give you something that doesn't work. But
yeah. Also, Aurora's going to want the book back. I'm sorry. Maybe in the future we make another one as gifts, which would have been, if we were really ahead and on a game, that would have been really smart of us to do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But okay, so we would love to hear, what made you say yes today to coming on?
Well, I mean, I like attention. Praise of any kind.
I love the honest right now. It's great.
No, but honestly, just the whole concept of the podcast. I was telling y'all this before we started. I just love the concept. I love women doing things, and I want to support it and, hope that I have something worthwhile to say. This is my, it's been 29 years since my first book was published. So I feel like, even though I haven't become a massive star, I do have some things to offer. I've been in the trenches for a long time now. So maybe there are some things that I can pass along. Some breadcrumbs.
You are a massive star. To me, thank you.
That's all that matters. Yeah. Screw New York Times bestseller. You're high up on Brittany's list.
That's the only thing that matters in my mind.
Because obviously we like attention too, because we started the podcast.
We're going to get along great.
Yeah. I love the honesty too. And you said something offline that I'm just going to quote because it's true, right? Like, women are so smart. And sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for that. So I love that you're saying, I've been in this industry and what can I do to give back?
Right. Yes. And I'm in it. I mean, women, I just constantly amazed at how creative women are. And maybe men are too. I don't know. I don't see it. Women, for
Same.
sure. So, yeah.
No, and we are. And I think that it's really important. And I'm seeing a shift, honestly, over the past, I would say maybe 5 years, where we are supporting one another and we are rooting for each other. And I think it's making a bigger difference because I am starting to see more women come out like with creative ventures or even like creativity, but like more CEOs, CFOs, CEO, all of the things, because we truly can do it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truly can. Yes.
Yeah. I think in the past, we were often pinned against each other. And now we know that we all do better when we raise each other up.
Yeah.
And I've said this in a previous episode, and I'm going to say it again. There's over 6 billion people on this planet. There's enough readers for everybody. There's enough ears for everybody. And so even hearing with how long you've been in the industry, you've seen a lot of changes, right?
I sure
in
have,
the beginning, podcasts did not exist. You would not
Oh,
have been
gosh,
using
no.
this platform. So I'm
Social media didn't exist when I
Yeah.
first started. I mean, we used to actually print out the manuscript and mail it to New York, and then they'd mail the edits back on that same manuscript. I mean, the world has changed drastically since I started. So
I'd love to hear a little bit more about how you got started.
Okay, here's my first breadcrumb.
I love it.
Because I was a young professional. I had actually worked in government, and I had worked at the White House, and Bill Clinton got elected. I was not a political appointee. I would like to state that right off the bat. I was a true civil servant, and back in the day, you never mentioned what your affiliation was. I mean, you really were agnostic when it came to politics. But when Bill Clinton was elected, he fired everybody that worked in the White House regardless. So I came back to Texas, where I'm from, and I was working as an executive administrator at Travis County. Hated it. Oh my God, what a soul-sucking experience. And I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I kept thinking, I can't do this for the rest of my life, so I don't know what that's going to be. And I went to a garage sale, and they had books, paperbacks. And for $0.25, I got Iris Johansson's, I don't even remember the name of it, but it was a historical romance. She went on to write suspense, but when she started out, she was writing historical romance. And I devoured that book. And I'd always been a big reader of everything, but I'd never really thought about this is romance or this is mystery. But it made me think, I think I could do that. So I tried after I read that book. And I wrote a book. It was a mess, but I figured out how to write a book in the process of doing that. And so I tried again. And that book, my sisters told me, if you're going to keep doing this, you have to send it off or whatever it is you do, or never mention it again because we're sick of hearing about your writing adventure. I don't know if y'all have sisters, and
Yes.
I'm the youngest one, so it's stop talking. And it made me really mad, so I sent it off. I got an agent. That was my first book. It was The Devil's Love, and it's still in print today.
Wow.
So all of the older sisters be mean to your younger sister.
Yeah.
Talking about yourself right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm the younger sister. And there's a,
So you don't.
oh my, because we're going to make it about me. So at my wedding, there's a photo, and I'm going to share it. There's a photo of me eating, and my sister's next to me judging the food on my plate. Visibly judging with grotesque. Sometimes not all breadcrumbs feel good. And it probably didn't feel good hearing that from your sisters.
I mean, it kind of rolled off the back. It was like, your little project, whatever. Okay, you're writing a book, that kind of thing. But I mean, it just kind of made me mad. And I thought, all right, I will send it off to New York or whatever you do.
And you told them.
I sure did.
I mean, think about if you hadn't shipped it off, if you hadn't been at that specific garage sale that book in that genre.
In that state of mind,
Right.
I can't do this, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And what's next?
And you listen to that gut. So we talk about how there's that continuously pop up on almost every episode. That is another theme.
Is it?
Listening to the gut, that little voice in the back of your head of thinking, I could do this. Should I do it? And then you do it. And then it pays off.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have the capability to do a lot more than we give ourselves credit for. And unfortunately, a lot of times people just don't do it.
Mm-hmm. They don't. And, I didn't know that I could. And I was, I had always been in a profession. I had always written, well. I was a good writer. It doesn't sound like I am, just the way I stated that, but I am.
No, you are.
You are. Right? And all my jobs had required writing. So technically I got very good, but I just thought I would try it. That was the thing. I had nothing to lose by trying it. So I did, and it paid off. And then you start to wonder, like, I've tried other things and didn't, veer off into a career. Like, was I led to it, or how was I led to it? But to me, it started with that 25-cent book, that Iris Johansen book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know. I'm I'm interested to read that book.
Now, I can't remember the name of it. And I was telling everybody she was dead, but she's not. Because she hasn't been writing in a long time. But she did have a really big career back in I'd say the 90s and the 2000s. But I think she's been retired for a long time. And I can't find the book, but it was set in ancient Greece.
Oh,
yeah.
Love that.
We should ask Claude. That's our new ChatGPT.
Oh,
We're not
yeah.
using ChatGPT anymore. Because let me tell you, it stole our podcast concept. So every once in a while we'll search, and you probably know this too, right? How books are getting stolen and stolen to
part
build
of
the
the
machine
class
learning.
action suit. Yeah.
Okay.
55 of my books, Claude has. So, yeah.
And that's it. I'm taking it off my computer.
Well, they were sued and they're going to pay authors. And so they were in the process of figuring out what they're going to, it's a pittance but they had 55 of my books.
55.
What?
Yeah. And so I assume that ChatGPT and all of them do.
Oh my
I mean, once it's in there and once it's out there. So, so every once in a while we'll do a word search on Breadcrumbs, or we signed up for Google Alerts and a podcast came up. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want people to go look it up. And I read the description and it's our exact premise. And then I went and I looked at the creator of the podcast. And before I say that, the description said, "Trust me, learn from my lived experience." And then I go and look at the creator and it's ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh. We could do a whole other podcast about AI. I have such strong feelings, and so many people now using AI to write books that they're publishing, and calling themselves an author.
Yeah.
Part of the being an author is to go through the grueling process of sitting down and writing, letting it flow through you. And just
but and then anything they come up with from an AI platform has been trained by actual books,
Right.
So it's not.
Theirs.
I could go on, but I won't. I don't want to rant.
we don't mind.
I do, but I won't.
Hey, maybe that's our flower hour hot take.
We're just bringing that segment right to the start. So I do have a question, and we'll get back to Breadcrumbs, but I think one of the, where is the line in the sand too? Because some people are also using AI for edits only. And then some people use it to write the whole book. So I'm just curious, on a personal level, where is your line? Is it I don't even want to ask it a question to...
No. I do. I have used it. So I use it to brainstorm. I have never asked it to write anything for me. And even when I get that stuff back from it, it's usually not what I want, but I just take the idea and it helps me develop my own thoughts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, even if you had it write a paragraph of your novel, it's not, I wouldn't do it. I'll just say that. I wouldn't do it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to hear it.
But, I'm not going to, that's the way the world's going, and it does have some benefit. I'm just trying to figure out how to use it. Publishers have suggested using it to come up with a promotion plan or, that kind of thing. Marketing plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has, but I still don't want to do it. So I don't want to do whatever marketing plan they suggest. Yes. Too much. So no. Thanks.
Julie, I'm curious. You mentioned that you you wrote one book, then you wrote your second book, that one got picked up, and you've gone on to write so many more books. Has there ever been, because I've heard other authors talk about like pressure to like keep putting different stuff out, or pressure to perform if one book does really well. Has that ever shown up in your life?
Yes. I mean, so that first book sold well enough. And it was a 2-book contract. I didn't think it would go past that. I thought, okay, I've written 2 books and yay me, But I mean, they kept selling. And so they wanted more. And then I became a bestseller. And when I was like on the Times list all the time, they wanted them as fast as they could get them. And this was before, like ebooks. It was before you could binge series on Netflix. And readers especially wanted the whole series as quick together as they could get it. But that's kind of where I think that started, that whole binge thing, especially with romance. And so I was under a lot of pressure to put out as many books as I could within a time frame. I didn't do it like a lot. It took me 6 to 8 months per book, but I felt like, I was constantly writing. I didn't have much of a life, it felt like, for a long time.
And then I guess to that point, like, was there ever a moment where you were like, what am I doing? Like, how did the characters and like the development and the storyline like keep going?
I've never had a problem with that. I've always had plenty of ideas and like characters I wanted to explore. I loved writing historical romance. I would just like sink into that world. So I really only felt like the pressure on the business side. And I still have plenty of ideas. I just don't have the motivation like I did then. I think it's just, I don't know, getting older maybe, or just, been doing it for so long. And now I kind of adopt the attitude, you're going to get it when you get it.
Okay, I love that. And I respect that, because I think that is the way our culture has changed too. And I remember, right, like 20 years ago being in corporate life, like we would work 12-hour days and be the last to leave an office and just like go, 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 go. And now we're seeing the value of making pace and like you said, get it when you get it. And okay. And I'm just going to say too, these are your recent books up here. And this is great work. We love it. Everybody that we know has read it, has loved them. And then you have another one coming out soon.
Yes. The Rules for Aging and Larceny. Yes.
Ooh.
That's such a fun name.
I know.
Yes. And women in their 70s who are going to knock off a casino.
I'm obsessed.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this. Do you have a release date?
June 30th, yeah. And and we're releasing it at Barnes & Noble at the Arboretum, and we're having a big launch. So, yeah,
Ooh,
if you're in town.
I might be having a baby at that time, but,
Is your baby due then?
She's technically due July 9th, but they said they were going to bring me in for C-section 2 weeks prior. And so I find out in like the 2 weeks what day they're going to take me in. So it might be.
Yeah,
but if not, I'm waddling my little butt over there. Or if I'm out of the hospital, I might waddle my butt over there.
She's still in her gown.
That's a great concept.
I feel like, as of late, books and shows and movies are portraying women no longer 20 years old with the older men. Like, we have female main characters with box office films, where in the past they weren't always investing in the women. And I think Reese Witherspoon, I feel like, is somebody that has helped push this forward. Yeah. So that's what I love about your concept, is it's not going with the 20-year-old.
Yeah. And I do think, like, you guys don't know this, but when you get close to 50, you start getting all the literature from AARP, but they come with, cotton top grandmas and grandpas, and they have a golden retriever and, a couple of grandkids, and you're only 50,
Right.
It's so true.
And so even in your 70s, I mean, so many of my friends, are in their 60s and approaching 70 are still really active and, dye their hair.
Yeah. Well, I think nowadays, like, I feel like sometimes I can't tell the difference between a 60 years old in my mind looks like 35. Like, we're like,
know.
we're aging backwards.
We're
you
aging
know?
backwards, yeah.
And so I feel that like, yeah, and also I remember my grandma, my great grandma actually, she wrote a poem, or she didn't write it, because at first I thought she did for the longest time, and I realized she had just copied the poem.
She's like, it's Robert.
Yeah, I thought she wrote it, and then and then I think like right before she passed, she was like, "No, honey, I didn't write that, but I copied it and I adapted it." And I was like, "Oh,
It's like nice.
Hilarious.
But it was talking about how you're only as young as your mind is.
Yeah.
And as my parents are getting older, like, because in my mind they're 40, which I'm close to 40, so I'm like, the math doesn't math, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, our minds kind of, I feel like, stay stuck in maybe like the 30, 32, 35 range. And it just is what it is. We kind of stop aging mentally. We get wiser, but like we don't feel, quote unquote, older.
You don't.
Yeah.
My mother used to tell us that all the time, that she still felt like she did when she was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And then, as I got older, I thought, that's so true. I mean, I'm still the same person I was as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really, but I did, so While It Was Snowing is a rom-com with people in their 50s. And I was amazed at how many people were excited about that, having older protagonists in their book, because they're, tired of reading the 20-somethings and, kind of virginal 20-somethings at that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at some point it gets unrelatable as you get older. You're like, you still enjoy it, but you're kind of like, well, I kind of want to see someone that might be closer to me or my friend, or
yeah.
like sometimes you like to see yourself in that person, or like things that they're going through in that person. Like, and everything is probably fine. Like, I loved how, she was a little bit more quote unquote middle-aged, right?
Yeah.
And like going through things. And I was like,
I think she and I were the same age, where I was like,
yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I could, this sounds like it could be a friend of mine, you know? Like, I liked that part of it.
Yeah.
Well, my neighbor, she reads over 100 books a year, and that was one of her favorites.
Oh,
She likes all of your books, but While It Was Snowing was her favorite
oh, thank you.
lately.
Tell me more.
But the other thing that we like is, they take place in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd like to hear a little bit more. So have you always been in the area?
I came to UT as a college student, and I was, finished school here, and I went to Washington for several years, but I came back here when I was pretty young. And so I've been here since about 1990, I guess, the second go around. So
what was your major?
Political science.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Nothing
sense.
yeah, related to writing.
Yeah. So, I mean, my major, I went to UT too. So.
Oh, okay.
But my major was kinesiology. Study of the human body and how it functions. I'm like, not using that.
So mine, I went to Texas State, but it's fine.
We still love you. We love you.
It was resource and environmental science. So I chose that because it was something that would keep my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Julie, I have to ask, whenever you became a New York Times bestseller, like, can you tell us about that day and how it felt and what happened? Because I'm always curious as to what is that like?
Oh my gosh. I can remember it very clearly. I had no idea, that I wasn't expecting it at all, but I can't remember if it was my agent or editor, but somebody called to tell me that I was on the New York Times list. And I was like, what list? I mean, because I couldn't, it just seemed so far out of reach. And so I was like, what list are they talking about? She said, the New York Times bestseller list. And I said, are you kidding? And she said, no. And so, we talked about it and, congratulations. We hung up the phone. There was nobody home. I called my husband, no answer. I called my mother, no answer. Called my sisters, no answer. It was just me hopping around with my I had Labradors at the time, I'll never forget that. Like, to reach that and have nobody around and nobody would answer their phone.
How dare they?
How dare they?
Like screaming in the street.
I know. We need a do-over of
We
this.
need a do-over. And then, the whole second guessing, like, did that really just happen? Like, is that real? But it was.
That's awesome. I know. I always think it's funny because, like, well, I know we're going to get into housewives later, but like, I remember when someone on the Housewives, they got the New York Times bestselling list or whatever, but they were like anticipating it, right?
Yes.
Like they kind of already knew. But I'm always curious, like, okay, if you have no idea, you know, and also I think it is a little bit different than it used to be, right? Like 15, 10 years ago, it's a little bit different getting on the New York Times bestseller list than it is now, right? Especially with what they were doing specifically, right? Like that's pop culture. It's different.
Yeah,
segments.
celebrities it's like a whole different kind of ball game.
So they are like, they already knew, they already have champagne ready.
Yeah.
You know, like they're anticipating that phone call. But like, if you have no idea that it's coming, like what a feeling.
Nobody had even said it was a possibility. I think they were surprised too, but it was like it was my 5th or 6th book. I can't remember which one, but I think it just had been building. But I didn't know that. Because it was before social media, so I had nobody to compare myself to. I mean, those were the good old days. Let me tell you what.
Oh my
yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah. And then it kept happening for a long time. Now it's fallen off since then. You kind of have like this zenith, and then everything changed. I mean, for everybody, ebooks and all of it, and politics and everything changes.
Yeah. I mean, it's true because then there wasn't social media to advertise to. And I just feel like in the publishing world, social media is it's one of the main tools now for advertising books. And I think,
oh my gosh. They even, I hear this from other authors starting off, that when you get a contract, they want to know, like, what's your social media presence? Like, how big is your footprint? And it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. I would like my footprint to be 0. I just want to go and read Real Housewife news, and then just go about my day. If not post.
Yeah. Who wants to worry about posting or thinking of content to post? Like that is like, you want to be able to do the creative thing that you want to do, which for you is writing, right? But if your mind is in 300 different places, then you can't focus on the one thing that brings you joy. And if it's not bringing you joy, what's the point of doing it?
That's the truth. And, to me, it's gotten a lot worse because there's so much information coming at you now from so many places that it wasn't like that when I was starting out. I mean, you really could just like go into your office and escape. But now, I've had to put myself on a big phone diet because, I really have had, been doom scrolling, I guess, for lack of a better word. You don't mean to. I go in to check the weather, and then it's been an hour. It's ridiculous. So
it's so true. I've had to stop charging my phone in the bedroom, so I'm not laying in bed when I wake up. Like I set my alarm at 4:15 to like get up, and then I waste it if I'm scrolling in bed, and then I get mad at myself.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. It's just a time sucker. It's an energy sucker. I do like your posts because they're real. I like it when you share about your dog. You share really funny stuff. So as a consumer of what you put out in the world, I like it.
Okay, well, thank you. It's hard to, sometimes I'm just like reposting stuff I see that makes me laugh, but yeah.
Which is the best.
Yeah.
We just want to laugh, honestly. Like, don't show me anything. Just make me laugh and I'm happy and I'm good.
Me too. And I do have to say, there are some insanely funny people on social media, the little clips they do. I'm just so impressed with the creativity.
I think that's the good thing. That is the good thing about social media, I will say, is that you can be creative in, like, say, funny videos, right? Like, we would probably never see the talent that these people have without social media. And I do think that, like, laughter is, like, it's truly medicine in my mind. And so the more that we can laugh and be silly and, like, kind of just shoot the shit, right? I feel like the happier we're going to be. Just a simple way of putting life, but in my mind, everything is simple.
It's true. I like that you add humor into your books as well. So I bringing us back to breadcrumbs. I would like to hear if in the writing process, are there ever breadcrumbs that you're picking up while writing? Or let's say you're writing certain scenes or certain topics, and then you're going about your life and it's sort of related to what you're writing about. So are there ever any breadcrumbs that you pick up while you're writing?
A lot of the funny stuff, like I have seen in my life or it's happened in my life, like while it was snowing, a lot of the text messages between her and her teenage kids are actual text messages from my house.
What?
They really are. Yeah. I mean, just like, it's so absurd, that I had to put it in a book. So yeah. I mean,
love this.
One of them, I remember I was in San Antonio and my grandson was here and he texted me and said, "Do we have any milk?" And I'm like, "I'm in San Antonio." And he said, "I know." And I'm like, "Well, can you look?" And he said, "I'm playing a game."
My
Honest to God. So it's like, that's in the book. So, I mean, those little breadcrumbs happen,
He loved that one right for you.
I know.
And you picked it right up.
I did.
But I like that you're like using stuff that happens in real life.
Oh, yeah.
That's happened to you, because by your experiences, then you can write about it.
Yeah. I mean, I love to laugh, and I'm always on the hunt for the funny. I like to read funny stuff. I think I'm hilarious. I'm like constantly laughing at myself or my dog, so yeah, I'm always going to put humor in books.
We have to tell you about something we've been loving lately. It fits our whole breadcrumb philosophy perfectly. It's called the Feel Good Workbook, and it was created by Dr. Kell, who you might remember from our manifesting episode. You know how she talks about following the universe's breadcrumbs? This workbook is basically that, but on paper, with actual tools you can use in real life. The idea behind it is honestly so simple, but so powerful. It teaches you how to use your human guidance system, which is basically your built-in compass for life. Think of it like the game Hot and Cold. When something feels good, you're moving in the right direction. When something feels heavy or off, that's your signal that you're getting colder and maybe taking a step away from what you actually want. What we love about this workbook is that it shows you how to read those emotional signals in real time and then shift back to feeling good fast. Not ignore your feelings, not push through, just gently course correct so you stay aligned with where you're meant to go. Because here's the thing, the key to health, healing, and honestly creating a life you love is feeling good. And when you feel good, you're aligned, you're magnetic, you're following the breadcrumbs. And when you don't, this workbook helps you figure out why and what to do next. And the best part is our listeners get 10% off the Feel Good Workbook. Just use the code breadcrumbs10 at checkout. Feel free to go to the link in our show notes, or you can go to Linktree/Dr. Kelly, that's Dr.Kelley. So if you're trying to live more intentionally, more aligned, and actually enjoy the path you're on, this is such a good place to start.
So this is a question actually that Brittany likes asking, but I'm going to take it from you. What's a memory looking back that feels like an early breadcrumb towards who you are now?
Well, you guys won't know this show, but when I was a kid, there was a show called Alias Smith and Jones, and it was about two outlaws, two very handsome outlaws. And I think the premise was if they would be good, then they would get, they wouldn't be charged or something like that. So they were always on the run from bad stuff that people wanted them to do. But I mean, I was like 12 years old and started writing fan fiction of Alias Smith and Jones, featuring myself as the woman, and always trying to decide between, do I like Smith or do I like Jones? So,
I love this.
Oh my.
So yeah, I would say that was an early breadcrumb. And I didn't have I wasn't thinking I was going to be a writer. I just wanted to be an Alias Smith and Jones.
Oh, I love that.
That's a huge breadcrumb. I mean, had you never have done that, we don't know what would happen, right? Like, we don't know how our lives would change if we don't do one thing. But the fact that your creativity was like, I want to be immersed in that story.
Yes. And I started writing them in spiral notebooks. And I had a woman I went to high school with. She said, "You remember you used to have all those notebooks under your bed of all those stories that you would put yourself in?" I'm like, "You mean I actually told people I was doing that?" I did. Apparently I did.
I told everybody. Do you have any of them?
No. And then I didn't ask her, but I was dying to ask her, "Did you read it?" I mean, was I asked her around in the English class?
But you know what's funny is like that. Sometimes you don't think about the memories that like you're leaving behind for someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like they will remember you in a certain way. And that was a breadcrumb for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Man, I wish you would have had at least one.
I know. I would love to see them. I don't think I would share them with anybody. I can imagine how cringe they were, but I would love to see them.
But it would be funny.
It would be funny.
It's very impressive though that you had enough to stash under your bed. My dad mailed me a story that I wrote when I was 11, and it won like a local award. I'm from like a small town, so it's really not a big deal. But I read it recently after he mailed it to me, and I was like, "This is the premise of Stranger Things." I was like, I could have done that.
That's a breadcrumb missed entirely, right? Like,
yeah, that is so true. It's so true.
Somebody stepped on that breadcrumb, smashed it.
You should have written it, Dan. I had someone tell me one time that if you have a thought, right, and it comes to you, and you don't act upon that creativity thought, that it floats to someone else. And I don't know why someone telling me that really freaked me out, that, okay, if I have a thought, I better fucking do something with it, because otherwise, because I've seen it before where like, oh, like me and my mom have thought of like, like an invention, right? And then it would happen literally like a year or two later, and we're like, oh, we invented that. We didn't do anything with it, but we invented it.
Another breadcrumb lost. Yeah. Vacuumed right up.
In the 80s, my mom wrote a historical fiction, and she was going to send it off. Loved the concept. It was great. And then Danielle Steele put out a book of the exact same concept.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, well, now I can't. And there's no way it would have how is it? It's two different ideas, right? And it's just.
But that happens so much. Mm-hmm. People have very similar ideas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because we all live similar. They're not the same experience, but we have the same emotions.
Yeah.
Which are attached to it.
Yeah.
Something that blows my mind. And this is also why we've decided to continue on with the podcast, because when we've told people that we were going to do this, we got a lot of that's it's saturated.
What, the podcast?
Podcasts in general, the whole industry. There are so many out there. Like, why would you start something that is sort of like probably on its end? But really, and it's the same for books, it just still fascinates me that not every story has been told.
That's right.
It's just amazing.
I don't think podcasts are in end. I think it's exploding. I mean, that's where people are getting news and entertainment now. So I notice with each release that comes out, the publicity seems to move more and more to podcasts. So for like Rules for Aging and Larceny, I'm doing more podcasts than I've ever done. So yeah, stick with it, I say.
And thanks for coming on today. And I know we talked about how different themes come up every episode, but that's another one. And I think it kind of goes back to maybe even your sister's feedback for you is when we...
Shut up.
That's just it. Just shut up. Not be able to do a podcast. But when we have these ideas and our family or friends put us in a certain box, and when we say an idea that puts us out of that box, it's hard for them to kind of visualize it or conceptualize what it is until it comes into fruition. So I think that's probably a good example of that too.
Oh, absolutely. And we grew up on a ranch. I mean, you just went into ranching or farming, or you married, had children. But, to be a writer, I mean, the concept of it was just so out there. It's like, I'm going to go be a movie star. And they're like, okay, go be a movie star. It was kind of like that, So I get it, I guess.
Even like your characters, like Nora, Lorna, like they're kind of put in a box by their family.
Yeah.
And then they obviously break the mold and have a transition. So, I never thought about that till just now.
I know. I think a lot about family because I think, you grow up with so many, when you're young, all these expectations that you may not, they're like subconscious expectations of how to be. Not just what to be, but how you're supposed to behave. And, I graduated in 1977. Most witty 1977. I just like to throw, that's one of my accolades.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
Not surprised.
Yeah. That, back then, the expectation was, you'd go to college, but you would probably marry. And so to think of anything beyond that was just like, she's really out there. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she needs to bring it down a notch, get back to brass
stay in the
tacks.
box.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that it was still like that then.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. The other thing I like about your characters too is you build this whole, obviously you build a world for them, but you take into account how things would have impacted them as a child. How does that frame who they are mentally? And based on that, how would they respond in a certain conversation, or how would that impact their choices?
Yeah.
So I really like that. It kind of makes them layered that way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, they're so layered. Like on Everything Is Probably Fine. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you threw me for a loop.
At the end?
Mm-hmm. A real loop. And I had no idea what to expect. And I was like, and then I was like, oh my gosh. But it's actually, wait, since we're talking about it, I have a question for you, Julia, and it's very important since you're an author. But before I do that, okay. You had mentioned, okay, I'm not going to read it because I don't want to spoil anything. But you wrote that they wake up with hope every single morning, hope for a good life, and hope for laughter, friendship, and love. Okay, I don't know why I'm going to cry. Oh, I'm pregnant.
Also, somebody always cries on every episode.
It's normally me, okay? But I love that because I just feel like we do, thank you, boo. I think we all want to hope for a good life and friendship and love, and
I feel like I need to give you a hug.
That was good. Okay, wait. Now my funny question.
I can't wait to tell everybody that you made her cry.
That's without doing anything, just sitting here.
No context.
Okay, so as an author, we were discussing because Danny likes to write all in the books and dog ear them, and they're crazy, right? And I like to keep them crisp and clean and pretty, So we heard at I think it was Literally Books podcast had mentioned if you're an author and you're signing a book, would you prefer to sign the book that's dog-eared and written all over and you can tell it's well loved, or do you prefer to sign the one that's just crisp and clean, or do you have a preference? I mean, you might not care, but does it make you feel good when you see the dog-eared ones? Or
I would be ecstatic if I saw that somebody's really into it that much. But I am happy to sign any book anywhere, however it is. A lot of people are like that. They want their books to be nice and clean, but I also like when you can see what's really gotten to somebody,
Yeah.
Because I'm writing in a vacuum. I don't know. I mean, I think this sounds pretty good, so, and I just don't know how it affects people like it just did you.
Yeah. I didn't know it was going to affect me like that till I started reading it. I was like, because when I read it, I was like, oh, I love that. And I dog-eared it. And I was like, oh, I'm dog-earing something. And then I was like, I really want to talk to Julia about this. And then I started talking. I was like, oh my gosh, emotions.
Well, sometimes it's a thing in your head, and then you say it out loud. It makes it more real, and then you feel it a little differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
what makes such a good book is
yes.
when you evoke all of the range of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's the magic sauce. That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to evoke emotion.
Mm-hmm. My husband read a chapter that I wrote recently, and he said I gave him an anxiety attack. I was so excited.
Dude, Julia, I have to say, she's written a book and she's given it out to she's editing, and then we're reading some chapters. And I was like, I am on a roller coaster right now. And I'm panicking, and then I'm thinking about it all the time. And then I'm in my mind, it's reality. So I'm freaked out. And I'm like, okay, Danny.
About AI.
Oh,
it's intense. Actually, I have a question for you, Julia, a real one. Because we always like to know, what does or how has what success looks like changed for you over the past lifetime?
Dramatically changed. I used to think success was all about making a list or getting an award. Now I think success is about just longevity, being able to do what I've wanted to do for this long. And I have surpassed all of the, standard averages for how long authors last, So for me, that's success, is that I've hung in this long and have been able to do what I want to do, you know, that things that make me happy for so long. And it's kind of weird that the other stuff doesn't really matter to me anymore. I mean, you know, like I have people ask me about film deals, and I've had plenty of books where, you know, there was interest, and, you know, it's so hard for that to happen. But even if that happened now, I don't think I would care. I mean, what to me matters now is just my life and living like I want to live and being happy day to day.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
I'm obsessed.
I know.
You couldn't have said it. You actually said it right here too.
I did, you know, but I just finished saying that and I thought, does that sound like, you know, like a bullshit? It's
No,
really not.
no.
Really,
I
really
do
not.
have a theory, and I feel like this goes right in along with that, is once people stop caring, good things tend to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like any promotion that I got was when I finally was like, screw it. I don't care. If I get it, great. If not, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just feel like, because sometimes when we're so gung-ho, it makes us too laser focused. And when you're more like, whatever happens, you have a better attitude towards life. You approach things a little bit more, you know, you're a little more happy. Same thing with the podcast. We're just like, we're going to put this out in the world. If it resonates, great. If not, we're doing it for us.
Yeah.
Selfishly.
That's exactly where I'm at. Like, I want to write what makes me happy, and, you know, it may sell, it may not, I don't know, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, and it conveys, right? Because
Not caring, like, very much conveys in your word.
No, be a smart ass more. I love this.
the breadcrumb, and maybe this is a full circle moment, is so literally books. You came on their podcast early, and they were really influential in us starting our podcast. So
Another group I was so excited about. Yeah.
So tell us why you're excited to meet with them.
Same thing. I mean, I thought they were both so smart, and so, you know, their insights are so good, and they know how to look at books from all angles. I mean, I just was like enthralled with them. And I just love, again, the young women doing these things. I think they could really, you know, just be anything they wanted to be.
I agree.
Yeah. And then, of course, the first podcast I saw was them on y'all's podcast. Of y'all, yeah. So I love that. I love that discussion.
Oh, they were our very first guests in sitting on the couch. So
yeah,
we were thankful to have them on so that we could get through, you know, hiccups, and they could help us along the way, and they could just
any jitters, you know, feel comfortable with someone.
And the book discussions, I love them.
Yeah.
I tune in to them because they always know what's going on in the industry. I don't. It cracks me up. And then just to hear their takes on books. And I told them recently, they were talking about, they did a recap of happy books or something like that. And they told me that they had mentioned one of mine. And I was at a place where I just wasn't sure. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, but sometimes I get these, like, you know, self-doubt, and I'm not sure what I'm bringing to the table. And I listened to that podcast, and it completely turned around my thinking. And I told them, I said, you just broke open a door for me, because I hadn't really thought about how readers see the book, you know? So yeah, I'm really grateful to them for that.
That was a breadcrumb moment.
Yeah. It was a breadcrumb moment. It was nice work, Nor November they were talking about.
Oh.
So yeah.
I mean, it's a breath of fresh air book. So I heard two things in there, that you don't always know how somebody is going to impact somebody else. Like, they probably had no idea how that would impact you in a positive way. And then even you have self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think people listening and hearing that, they're going to probably be shocked. Like, Julia London has self-doubt?
Every book, every single book. I started off, I think this idea is so great. And I get like a third into it, and I'm like, I don't think this idea is that good. And then it's like, I don't even think you're a very good writer. Every book I go through this. And then I grind through it, it goes to the editor, and then I'll see it for like copy edits or something down the line, and I'll be like, this is a pretty good book. It's a vicious circle. But yeah, I do. I have self-doubt a lot. Yeah.
We all go through it. Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
We all have like imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter like how much success you've had. Like, you've written so many books, have so much success, but yet you still get that. And I think we all go through it no matter what happens in our life. And I just want to take it back just a little bit to what you said, how you define success now.
Yeah.
And I think that as a society, we are going back to how you are defining success. Because I think we've been in the rat race for so long that it's like you reach it. And then it's like, and now what?
And now what? Exactly.
And does this actually matter? Is my worth tied to this? No. My worth is tied to how I feel about myself, my family, spending time with who I want to spend time with, and fuck everything else.
Yeah.
Sorry for saying that word.
Yeah. And then, your own creative outlets, however you express yourself, because I've also taken up, do a lot of needlepoint, and I've just learned to knit, that kind of thing. So, I've really gone full grandma. I didn't mean to.
Love this.
But it's just, that's what makes me happy now. And that I can do that every day. I'm incredibly grateful for it. I'm incredibly grateful for the life that writing has given me, but that I have this perspective now.
Okay, so you write. You also do needlepoint. And what else did you say?
I've started knitting.
Nice.
And you painted a great portrait of your dog.
Oh, great portrait, yes.
We need to show that picture because that was really good. I was like, oh my gosh, can you paint one of Apollo for me?
You would do it. It's amazing how when I saw that little sketch he had on the canvas, I thought this is a disaster, but they take you through every step. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to try it. Are there any other breadcrumbs in your life or anything else that we didn't touch base on that you want to talk about?
When you asked me this question before, I can just think back to any phase of my life, and there was something that put me on a different path than I was on. But there's so many of them. I don't know if I could just come up with one. But if you ever look back at your life, I'm sure everybody does this. You're like, if I hadn't gone to the store that day, or if I hadn't married that guy, or in my case, or or all of these little things, they lead you to where you are. So there's so many.
But had you not listened to it or picked it up, we would have had a completely different life, I'm sure.
I have kind of like a dumb one, but it's a good example.
Yeah.
I had, before my Beagle, I had a lab, and he was old and he was not well. And so it was a lot of caretaking, and I loved him to pieces. But I thought, after this, because it was day to day, I'm not going to have another dog. And my friend she came over and she said, look at this dog my friend rescued, and showed me Archie. And in that moment, I saw that dog's face and thought, I have to have that dog. And and I have him. And I love him so much. But that's like a silly little breadcrumb.
No, but that's true, because had your friend not come over,
I wasn't going to get another dog.
No.
I was going to, take care of Moose until which I did. But
right.
But
You
yeah,
love your dog.
to pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. That I like that breadcrumb, because it's true. It's like, and sometimes we have it in our mind where our mind is like, no, we're not going to do something. Right. And then it's like, surprise, you're actually going to do that thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I always say it's like God saying, ha ha ha.
I know. And it's like the husky that showed up at my sister's house. She said they left the gate open, go home, and the husky wouldn't leave. And so she's, that's another little breadcrumb. And now she has this dog she adores.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Puppies, they're the best.
I know.
Yes. Well,
That's
thank you for
simple.
sharing that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. So let's move on to carb loading. This is anything and everything catch-all bucket. So let's carb load together. And actually, Brittany loves it when we have guests on that love Bravo.
Big Bravo fan. Now, I don't do Summer House or Winter House. It's just too much.
That's okay.
I do Below Deck.
Yes.
I do all the Housewives.
Yes.
I do Ladies of London.
Yes.
What am I missing?
What about Southern Charm?
I used to watch Southern Charm, but those men started to get to me, so I don't watch it anymore.
Thank you. They're so annoying.
They're so, they're just they're gross. So I don't watch
It's a
it
good hot
anymore.
take.
Yeah.
What about Vanderpump Rules?
Okay. I did watch Vanderpump Rules, especially through the Tom and Ariana years.
Yes.
That's when I watched
That was
it.
crazy.
But yeah, but I haven't done the new one.
The new one, I watched it because I had to, but my brain wouldn't let me not. But it's not the classic. Okay, wait. So do you have a favorite franchise?
Oh, it changes. I mean, I like them for different reasons. I've always liked Beverly Hills just because they're so rich. They're kind of boring this go around.
Yes.
I do love Rachel Zoe on it. Salt Lake City, gorgeous train wreck. All the time. It's a mess, but it's just incredible. I'm not a big fan of Jersey just because Teresa and what's her face, her sister-in-law, Melissa, yeah. I mean, I got so tired of that shtick, so tired of it. So I kind of off it, and then I see they're coming back with Teresa and Melissa.
I know,
so more of the same. I love Miami. I can't believe they're going away.
Can we talk about that? Because this is what I really want to talk about. Why does Miami get the short end of the stick? It's so good.
It is good. It's really good.
And everyone I've talked to is like, Miami is awesome. Miami is great. But they didn't even, like, they were on only Peacock. They weren't even on Bravo last time.
Right.
Which I'm like, why? Like, they're so good. There's so much drama. They're rich AF.
I know.
Like, they have the lifestyle of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't get it.
And they make insanely questionable decisions.
Yes.
Constantly.
And Alexia and Marisol are just hilarious together.
I know. So, yeah. I don't know. And Potomac and Atlanta, I like, they're amusing. So
I love Potomac. Atlanta, the last few seasons haven't been my favorite, but I am kind of interested to see what's good. When Candy left, I was also very sad.
Yeah, I was too. Candy. She was really good.
Yeah.
But Portia's coming back as a lesbian, so that should be interesting.
I can't wait for that.
Should that be the name of this episode?
Dude, I can't wait to watch that.
Like,
Portia is great. Wait, did you watch Traitors?
Oh, all countries that I can get my hands on. All of them.
Okay, I haven't seen any other country. I've only watched, Scotland.
Well, I mean, the only one I've been able to watch is UK, but it started like in Norway or someplace. And then they have one in Ireland with the nun from Dairy Girls. She's the hostess, and I can't figure out how to get that one. I bet that would be really good, but yeah.
Okay, wait, so did you watch the most recent season?
Yes.
So what did you think about Rob winning?
I thought he played a really good game. He played a great game, but I don't think Rob would have won if he hadn't been so hot. I think they would have voted him off a long time ago.
And if Maura wasn't there.
Maura was so into him. I don't care what she says.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, at first I was like, Johnny and Tara, like whatever, like they weren't on my radar. But at the end, I was like, I just want them to win.
Me too. They got it. They figured it out.
I know.
They're so
Maura just really fucked it over for everyone.
She really did. She was so like into him. And
Candace could have won. She just let her ego just.
You know what? I thought before that pivotal episode, I thought Candace is going to win this. I mean, she's playing so well, but then are you not watching it? So you're like,
I know. Really for her. I'm just here for the vibes.
But she did. She played it like a housewife instead of like a traitor. So,
I know.
Yeah.
But he played a great game.
He did. But
I was rooting for the housewives because like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Wait, I have to. Okay, sorry. I have to ask a little bit more. Did you start watching Housewives like from the beginning, OC, in 2006 or 2005? I can't remember which one it was.
I don't know if I saw their first season, but it was pretty, somewhere around there. But then, I mean, I saw it and I couldn't relate to the OC women so much, but then they came out with New York, I think. And that was what really hooked me.
I'm so glad you said that because I have friends who like won't watch Roni. And I'm like, Roni has the best. Okay, did they have boring times? Yes. Not going to lie. But they have some of the best one-liners ever.
They do.
Like Dorinda. Clip.
She's such a drunk, but she's a hilarious drunk. But
my favorite one that season.
My favorite one is, I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch. I don't know why I want to say that like every day of my life.
I know. And one of my favorite scenes from Roni is when Aviva threw her fake leg across the table into her prosthesis.
And everyone's like, okay, wait, Julie, wait, before we stop talking about Housewives, I have to know. Do you have like either top 3 Housewives or top 3 quotes?
Oh, the quotes are so good. I love Rachel Zoe. I'm really loving her. And by the way, I think Kyle needs to go. I think her her time's done. She's not fun anymore.
Boring.
She's boring.
She doesn't even do the splits anymore.
She doesn't even do the splits anymore. I like Lisa Barlow because she's so outrageous. She's really, she just fascinates me. So there's one. I really liked Candy. I can't wait to see Portia as a lesbian. Excited about that. Those. And I like them pretty much all. And I would say I'm not a big fan of OC still. It's just too conservative or something for me.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. Well, my favorite quote ever is, I'm not going to say it again, but that's my opinion from Tamara.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
my
you
God.
can say it, but do it lower. Because I had to cut it because
I know.
it went too high, so it distorted the audio. So I had to cut it.
I'm just not going to do it. But that's like my favorite quote ever. Okay, wait, I have one more question.
Okay. You can call me anytime. We could really talk about.
We're going to have a weekly chat then.
You're a new segment.
Yeah. This is going to be Housewives with Julia London.
I love it.
What do you think about Amanda from Beverly Hills?
Oh, I should have mentioned her. I know you guys are in the same age range, but is that like a Gen Z kind of thing coming out? She is bizarre.
Weird,
There's
right?
something really wrong with her.
Can I tell you something really weird?
Yeah.
So when she bought Kyle's house,
Yeah.
and was renovating it, I saw the hoopla online, and she had her book, which was called Rich as Fuck. I bought it because I like reading, right? So I bought it. I read half of it. It was not bad. I was like, I can fuck with this, right? But watching her, I'm like, why did I buy her book? She's weird.
She's so weird.
So I don't know who that.
So
what
she's
makes her weird.
She's all about manifesting, which don't mind it. Obviously, we like to manifest, right? But the way she talks, and she talks really like this, and like nothing bothers her. And she always makes something a marketing thing. Like it's always like about like she had a conflict with Dorit, and she was like, I'm so glad that you brought that up because now I'm writing my second book that's all about me being in the cult.
That's not very genuine.
And she's not, but the other women, they're 30 years older, 25 to 30 years older, and they're always telling her put on your big girl panties. Please don't talk to me like that in my own house. She's got like this weird affectation. And I'm like, is that like a Gen Z thing? Because she can't read a room to save her life, So
No, she's just weird.
Do you think she's coming back?
I don't know, because the backlash has been no one likes her.
Yeah.
But you need a villain.
Right. That's why I'm like,
so she might be back, honestly.
She might be back.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like having a little bit of shit stirring anyways. So otherwise it would be kind of a boring season.
Yeah.
But I do love Rachel Zoe.
I love Rachel Zoe.
So funny. And so she's like chill, but she gives like, not like even a one-liner. It's just like her facial expressions crack me up. Like you can tell she's like, or let's have hot girl summer.
Yeah. Yeah. And when Dorit stormed off after calling everybody a cunt, she said, I know it's not the time, but she is hot as fuck. That kind of thing.
See, it's just but she's like nonchalant in a cool way. Yeah. And then Amanda's nonchalant in like a weird way.
Nerdy.
It's like weird.
Yeah. It's really
just
weird. Yeah.
Okay. Enough Housewives. Never enough. But
never enough. But yeah.
I will be respectful of your time.
What is Flower Hour again? I do have a hot take.
Let's do Flower Hour.
Yeah.
The government can pay the TSA agents. They need to pay the TSA agents, period. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Pay those people.
Please.
How dare they ask them to work like this for no money? Ugh. Just goes all over me. So yeah, that's my hot take.
Yes.
I don't think that's hot take. I think that's take we all share.
Yeah.
Yes. From this moment and every day forward.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't agree, fuck off. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Keep it in there. I'm diabolical.
Just pay them. Oh my God. Don't show up with burgers and gas cards. Give them a paycheck.
That.
That's not going to pay the mortgage.
No. Yeah. We have to survive.
Yeah.
You go to work to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
You don't work to live. I mean, you don't live to work.
Yeah.
Wait, did I fuck up the saying? Anyways.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for them because what do? You quit your job and look for another one because you don't know how long this is going to go on, or do you just give it another week? I mean, I can't imagine the stress. It just really upsets me.
Used as pawn.
Yeah. Just being used.
Yeah.
For no reason.
That's
Okay,
my
boo.
hot take.
I love the hot take. Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Well, Julia, so before we end, we always ask, find your breadcrumbs or follow your breadcrumbs?
Find. I'm going to go with find.
Find.
Because, go try something that you've never tried before. Just try it. Nothing's going to happen if you try it. Nobody's going to judge you. Just try it.
Yes.
She loves. So she's a find, I'm a follow, and she loves it when people pick find. For the record, find is winning. I'm like, and I like how, nobody has given us that answer yet. So that was a good answer.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Yeah. Okay, Julia, thank you again so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been so much fun. I've had a really good time.
And we definitely need to have you back for more Housewives Hot Takes segments.
Good.
I don't have anybody to talk to housewives to because nobody in my little circle watches housewives. So I'm happy anytime.
Oh, I
love
hit
that.
me up, text me, whatever.
I'm like, don't tell me that because I will.
Idea. We talked about doing a Bravo only episode, right? Like our neighbor Aurora was going to come on. So maybe we bring you back for the Bravo only episode.
I would love a Bravo only episode.
Oh, okay. Obsessed with this. This made my day.
And then I would figure out who are my favorites and all that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that episode we can come up with like a real.
We'll have show notes.
We'll have show notes. That way we can think and research, and which is all the fun. That's what I want to research is Bravo shit. Nothing else. Only Bravo.
Makes me happy.
All right, friends. So go out into your week and find your breadcrumbs.
Well done.
That was amazing. Thank you. How do you feel?
Great.
We may cuss, we may offend.
Maybe don't listen to this with your kids in the car. We're here to learn and laugh, not to offend.
We are not experts, so take what resonates and professional advice where needed. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
If you've loved today's conversation, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Continue picking up the breadcrumbs by leaving us a review and sharing.
Follow us on socials. We are at Instagram at The Breadcrumb Effect, TikTok at The Breadcrumb Effect Pod, and YouTube at The Breadcrumb Effect.
Let us know your favorite episode or what you'd like to see.
Want to be a guest or know someone with a story? Fill out our guest interest form linked in our bios.
Finally, let us know if you found the hidden loaf. Until next time, keep picking up those breadcrumbs.
They're leading you exactly where you're meant to be. I did not bring you here to talk about your votes, actually. Only one at minimum. It definitely sounds like, oh my gosh, the pressure.
Like we all think like, are you okay, Danny?
Yeah.
She's gonna give herself a concussion over here.
We'll get there.
I don't know, but you know what I just noticed? Why is that facing that way and not tilted to the side?
What do you mean?
Do we normally tilt it the other way? Oh, it's still fine? Okay, good. I just had a freak out moment in my mind. I said, oh,
we're gonna get this shit out of this
starting
shot.
over.
No, I was like, is Julie in the shot? Forget me. I don't care. We don't need me in the shot. You just need to hear my voice, okay? I'm like, is Juliet in the shot?
Okay, I just zoomed in only on her.
Oh, yay.
What?
Okay, well, good. I don't have to panic anymore. We also record your bio offline, so you're not having to sit here while we talk about you while looking at you of all things that you already know about yourself.